and I was the math placement person. So I placed every freshman that came in. I placed them into the first math course. And so what I did was, it would really suck to give all the freshmen their test and then try to set the schedule for the next semester. Because the schedule for the next semester has got to be set before the freshmen even come. You kind of with me? No? Yes. All right. But at least the freshmen apply and they send in their transcripts to the university, to the college. So what I did was, the first year I was the math placement person. I took all the transcripts and we put it all into the spreadsheet, and I kept like, what's the highest level math they made it to, what was their SAT in math, what was their GPA in math, so forth. You with me? All the grades and all the different math levels. And then I let them take the placement test, and I ran a study. I ran a linear regression study. And so I found out that if I combined the SAT math score plus the GPA in their highest math course plus their overall GPA, I got I think the R was like 0.8 something. A really good correlation. You with me? So what I did then was, for the next year, I took everybody's incoming scores and just plugged them into my equation. And then I could predict the number of people that were going to place into the lowest level math and the next level math. And I called them and I said, make this many low-level math courses and this many of this section and this many of this. You guys kind of with me? So even if I was wrong on a few people, it would still average out, right? Because a few people I would have too low and a few people I have too high. And so overall, it averaged out. And it worked damn good. And so every time I teach this, I have to tell people that. It's not very exciting, right? You have to be a special kind of person, like me, to be excited at the use of data. But it's just simple. Otherwise, we used to, like, here, this happens all the time. You try to go into a math course and it's full. There's like only 3 sections. You're like, oh my God, every wait list is full. Why do these people do this? Because we don't have access to everybody's transcripts. We can't do that kind of analysis. I don't know if you guys realize that. We can't do that kind of analysis ahead of time. We have to try to do our best guess. And sometimes our best guess sucks, right? But at that place, everybody had to send their transcripts in. I had access to everybody's everything, just about. So then I could do that kind of study and use that kind of results to help out. Now, if my R would have come out to be 0.07, I would have said, well, shit, let's not do that. I'll just have to guess, and oh well. But the R came out really good. I was like, sweet. You'd expect that, because somebody's performance on a placement test should be most directly related to how much math they know. Now, some people suck at tests, so they'll score lower than I predicted they would, right? And some people just live with tests and they get lucky, so they score higher than I thought they should. But it all kind of averages out. Okay, how we doing? All right. Okay, so just to make it really clear for the homework, section 10.2 is all about R. Section 10.2 only relates to finding the Pearson product, the correlation coefficient. And it has questions related to R and so forth. 10.3 uses the exact same data, but it wants the line of best fit. So my suggestion to you would be do 10.2 and 10.3 at the same time. Because you do one piece of data and you get R and the line of best fit at the same time, right? So do 10.2 and 10.3 at the same time. Just like we had to do way back with 2.2 and 2.3. Remember the histogram stuff?
Do they have the same problems?
Yes, I tried to assign them so they have the same data that they're using. Yeah.
So 10.3 uses the same data and also do the best fit?
Yeah, so 10.3 is all about the line of best fit. 10.2 is all about R. Now, real quick, the last thing I want to ask you. If your line of best fit is bad, and how would you know if it's bad? You don't want to use it. How would you know?
It's really low. Your R is...
If your R is really close to 0, it's not above the cutoff. What the hell do you do then? You should still be able to make a prediction. Your best guess is always going to be the average. You kind of with me? So if my beer versus grades line, and it was bad, I think, the R was pretty low. So my best guess for anybody would be the average grade. So before today, our best guess for anything was the average. I don't know if you can remember, that's the point estimator. I call it the best guess. What Chapter 10 does is if you do this study, you're able to make a much better guess. than just the average grade. You can do it based off of some, like how many beers you drink, or how many hours you study, or how far away from this place you live, or how many hours you were potty trained when you were younger, right? Psychology uses this kind of thing a lot. It's a really poor example, but it's the only one I can always think of is when you're potty trained at what age versus what you do later in life. There are studies that do that. All right, I think I am much more interested in this than most of you guys, but hopefully you're a little bit interested. So that's plenty for today.
So if it's